And we'll go to Leo in the UK.
All right.
Leo, you there?
Yeah, hi. How
Hi,
are you
Leo.
doing?
Good.
Good.
What time is it there?
Almost midnight.
Okay. Thanks for staying up with us.
Oh, no problem. You're
Okay.
But yeah, Jeff, I had a comment to you saying that the Catholics needed a break, as it were, because they don't necessarily all have elected the Pope, or the Pope isn't necessarily responsible for all of them. I wanted to make this distinction between the Catholic Church and, say, any other Protestant belief that doesn't recognize the organization as an intrinsic part of the belief. Whereas the thing that separates Catholics is that they believe that the Pope is divinely mandated through apostolic succession. In other words, from the first apostle to now, there has been an unbroken chain. It has been selected and chosen by God. The Holy Spirit sits on the bishops as they nominate the Pope. So this is a selection by God of who the person who will actually run and lead the church into the next generation. And anyone who follows that, the Catholic belief, accepts the Pope, I think, as the person who would actually lead them into what is right and what is wrong, and he's chosen by God. So if he's wrong, and if he's so horrific, then I don't think that any of them can stand up and hold a hand and say, yeah, that's okay, God isn't at fault.
Well,
God's actually commanded them.
That's a very good point. And I'll tell you what, I will back off from my previous statement and say that I think in actual practice, you don't find believers in any religion being uniformly in agreement with the teachings of their own church. No matter what you say about what is taught in the Catholic Church is correct, but not. I've met Catholics who don't, they'll just go, yeah, well, that's what they say. But I'm still a Catholic, and I still think that it's the right kind of thing. But yeah, over here, that's very common. So I'll back off from my previous statement and say only those people who don't actually take everything that they're taught by their church that seriously can maybe deserve a little bit of wiggle room. Okay?
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I think it's very important to. I think that more people now are leaving the Catholic Church for that reason, but I think it should be made a point.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point.
There was another small point that I wanted to just because you were asking about this arrest thing that Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens are looking into.
Now, I have a slight correction on that. Dawkins has said that his only involvement was Hitchens came to him with the idea. Dawkins recommended a civil rights lawyer that he knew, and that's it. It's Hitchens. It's Christopher Hitchens who went looking for the lawyers.
In that regard,
okay.
They actually claimed that he said that he would arrest him, which some other people referenced the Dawkins website where he said he didn't, but the page wasn't loading, so I couldn't.
So this is a little distraction.
So anyway.
But that aside, basically the idea was that, Hitchens and Dawkins were looking with a human rights lawyer to build a case against arresting the Pope if he were to come to the UK. And
as I understand it, there's a scheduled visit coming up by the Pope.
Yes, quite soon. Yeah. And I really hope I would have been the one to arrest him, but I doubt that didn't happen. But yeah, it was weird.
Well, it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting TV, as they say.
Yeah.
Historically,
I don't think anyone would go through with it, but I really hope someone does.
Well, nobody has the balls here in the United States to do it, so we're really hoping you all do it.
Historically, Britain has had issues with the Catholic Church before, as I recall. So
it's not necessarily that it was necessarily atheist. It was more Anglican Church and
correct,
rather than
and a wacky king you had.
That's it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, just wanted to make that comment. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Leo.